Carl. Oh man, this season finale of The Walking Dead this season is just gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. So spoilers. Spoilers on your car. Spoilers. Because this is heading like what we saw in the comic book series. And we, the comic book fans, know exactly where they're trying to build up to. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I'm just saying. But please still subscribe and like, because I need the subscribes and likes, and I love you guys. Is that weird? Okay, guys. Alright, serious now. We're serial, alright? Listen, I've been thinking, and I usually check out Yahoo, and Yahoo is not the most credible place to look at news and stuff, because their articles are somewhat shit. But they have a great point. I can't find the article, so I can't really provide the link, but they, a lot of the creators have hinted, especially Daryl, Norman Reedus, they're always saying shit, they're always saying stuff. Norman's saying, you better bring your Kleenex, because, you're going to be screaming at the TV on the season finale of the season of The Walking Dead. Glenn has a big second half, and we have yet to really see that. We've seen a little bit of it with him and Abraham. And some other shit. I think they said some other stuff, but will Glenn die? That's the biggest question. Will Glenn die? And so many hints this season. We had 2 character deaths already. Beth, Tyrese. We've seen major hints with Glenn. Baseball bat. Either him holding a baseball bat or somebody behind him with the baseball bat. Oh, if they're not going to do that. If you read the comics, Glenn just gets his head bashed in horribly with a barbed wire bat named Lucille. They're just not going to do that on TV. It's too graphic. Hell, the illustration of that chapter or that issue, was freaking. I was like, oh my god, yeah. So much emotion. I was kind of like, no, Glenn, why? Eyes popping out, no. I mean, there's so much illustration to that. It's really horrific and it's awesome, but it's just like, oh my. I'm not a squeamish guy, I love, horror stuff. I can deal with medical stuff, people getting operated, this and that. But that freaking issue, I want panel or whatever of Glenn just, looking at Maggie, so much emotion, but then it's just horror. I can't really go back to it. I skip it when I have my hardcover comic books, or when I'm watching some on YouTube. I just skip it. I'm like, I can't do it. Because Glenn is one of our favorite characters, man. Glenn is such a smart guy. He could be a leader. He definitely could have taken over, and I think they would have been fine. I think they would have been a little bit better off, because Glenn knows his shit. Glenn knows how to he definitely knows how to gather stuff, food, whatever they need. He definitely knows how to calm the situation down. Glenn, and he has a hot girlfriend. Come on, or hot wife. Glenn is an awesome character. He saved Rick. Rick would not be here if it wasn't for Glenn. So to kill him off, and we heard, and then we also heard reports that there was a lot of celebrations going at this film after the end of the filming of this, and I think the actor who plays Glenn, he had an emotional time with it, hugging everybody and stuff. And then Carol breaking down, I believe it was Comic-Con or something like that. I was there, but I wasn't able to get in. Just hinting, her breaking down kind of reminded me of, is Carol going to get it? There's a lot of possibilities. I mean, they could go the comic book route, and they could kill off Glenn. But everybody is definitely expecting that. What if they do definitely just say, yeah, we like this guy, we're keeping Glenn. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're not going to be impactful. What if they kill off Carol or Daryl? What if they kill off Carol or Daryl? What if they killed off Daryl? I was just thinking, like, okay, the reason why it was such a shocking death and such a memorable death in a comic book series was because of Glenn. Glenn was such a popular character, and nobody expected it. But what? So think about it. The TV show is going the route of, the comic book series. They're in a community. It seems like we're headed to finally revealing. We're seeing a lot of zombies with W on them. I don't know what the hell that means, but maybe we're going to see Negan at the season finale. I'm pretty damn sure it's been said that we're going to see him somewhat in the season finale or something. I think it's been said. It's very, very much likely we're going to see him. Think about it. They kind of changed up, a lot, some stuff from the TV show to the comics at this point, especially with Bastet and everything. They've been getting rid of a lot of people. They've been getting rid of a lot of people to really get to this arc. They weren't really, those people like Beth and Tyrese weren't even in the community, but Sasha wasn't either. Who is the most popular character on the Walking Dead TV show? Who does everybody love the most? Who would be devastated if he was killed off? Would not see it coming because we think this person is untouchable, immortal. It's Daryl. It's Daryl Dixon. Daryl Dixon is so popular. It's definitely brings in the audience. Norman Reedus does a great job with Daryl. I wish that they go back to the old Daryl, though. That's just me. Daryl is a huge... and then we're seeing him get into the scouting. He's going to go scout for other people now. What if he comes across Negan? What if he ends up with like a group like in a comic they have in like in the comic book series where they're all lined up? What if that happens? It would make sense to kill off Daryl if they want that shock factor. If they want to, make you really pissed off, make you cry, and really make that moment memorable. It makes sense if it was instead of Glenn, because don't get me wrong, Glenn is huge on the TV show. He's very popular as well, but he is nowhere near the same popularity level as Daryl. Well, he's kind of. But he's not as popular as Daryl. Daryl is super popular, and that leads to my kind of gut feeling that, it's just too obvious that they would go with Glenn, and it's too many hints that they would go with Glenn. I want to be shocked that they went with Glenn after all, being killed off. But what if it was fucking Daryl? What if it was Daryl? If we kill Daryl, we riot. But, this guy, Daryl, Norman Reedus has said it, he's not, immortal. This guy could die anytime. It would make total sense for him to be killed off for the creators if they want to go that route. If they want to go shocking, sad, angry mob route, it would make total sense. And it would probably, I want to say it would do the series justice because you don't want to see any of these people, die. But with Daryl's character, what does he have? They could do a lot of things with Daryl's character, but I don't think they're ever going to do it, I don't think they're ever going to make him, become a leader. Or he is somewhat like a leader. He is like the reliable one. But, Daryl has not been Daryl of the past, like when we first started for a while. Like, I like Daryl, but it seems like they just have him just there to, really just, I don't know. I really like Daryl, but it just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way that they it's just the overall writing of The Walking Dead that I don't really agree on. But they could do a lot of things with Daryl's character. They're already trying to do some stuff with Daryl's character, so that's at least good. So, but I really do think that if they don't want to go the Glenn route, because Glenn's a very popular character as well, but if they don't want, people to, if they want to shock people and they want to say, oh yeah, you thought it was this character? No, it's Daryl. It could be Daryl, and it also could be Carol. Carol, who did cry, bawled her eyes out at Comic-Con. You could say maybe it's for, her castmates, this and that. Or maybe she meets her end. Who knows? Carol at this point, she's a bad mama. She's a bad mama. I don't think if she's scaring off kids and stuff, she's not going to change. She's not going to change. She's at this hard, hardened her heart, get things done kind of type character that's not going to change. She's not going to go back to what she used to be. She's not really too sincere at all, if you think about it. I mean, yeah, maybe towards her group, but she's not going to let anybody else in her little circle. She's going to do what she's going to have to do. Carol really has become a badass. I really like Carol from the TV show other than the comics. So, but she might go. She might go. But all signs point to Glenn at the season finale. It definitely points to Glenn. I don't want to see Glenn go. I think you could do somewhat another storyline with Glenn as well. But Glenn going makes sense as well because there hasn't really been much for Glenn to do on the TV show if you think about it. Yeah, he went with Abraham. He really, stopped the fighting between all of them. But before, like, it was always Maggie and Glenn, but now it's not. We haven't really seen Maggie and Glenn this season all too much, like those moments. Somewhat, I guess, yes, somewhat. We have somewhat, but it's not like before. It's definitely not like before. It definitely feels like this show is going a different route. It's definitely sticking to the comic book route. It feels like it's going back to that comic book storyline. So I don't know. We'll see. It's just really just me thinking my thoughts. Just trying to just spitball here, trying to see where the show might go. I mean, we could predict this and that, and the show can go completely different. Maybe nobody dies in the season finale. Maybe Michonne dies in the season finale. Maybe Jesse dies in the season finale. Yeah. But I would not be shocked if it wasn't Glenn who dies in the season finale. I think this is what the video is really all about. It's like, yeah, Glenn, I wouldn't be shocked if he died. But I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't die and it was another character that took his place. We'll see. Very much can't wait for the season finale. This season overall, The Walking Dead, it was fine. It had its up and downs. It was good in the very beginning. It was it kind of slowed down towards when we were meeting that mid-season finale. Some good episodes here and there. Tyrese was a good episode. I definitely like the episodes that we're getting from, the community. Last weekend was a little bit of a bore fest. But it's going the right direction. It just doesn't, it definitely is the show. It's just, I don't want to hate. I'm not hating. I love sitting down every Sunday watching The Walking Dead. My family, my cousins and stuff love watching it as well. I love discussing it. It's just, I'm going to tell you how I honestly feel about The Walking Dead. And honestly, I feel like the writing is still a little bit shoddy. I feel like when you have shows like Better Call Saul, and you even have Empire, which is a whole different kind of tone of a show. But you have Star Wars Rebels, whole different kind of tone of a show. You have all these new shows who are really stepping up their game, who are really producing quality work, where The Walking Dead has been, for years. I feel like The Walking Dead is losing its potential. Its potential should have surpassed any expectations. We should be watching this shit on Netflix every episode because every episode has something, they're doing something. I like The Walking Dead. I just feel like it just hasn't really, it hasn't lived up to its expectations. They really hype it up. I think what really got me mad was the guy said that, the Emmy should be looking at us after this season finale. One episode doesn't determine a good quality show. The whole season determines a good quality show. And he said that pretty much, the writing has been top notch, this and that. I believe one of the producers or whatever. No, it has not. It has not. A lot of people would agree that the show's writing has been living up to, is not that great. The tone, the pacing is awful sometimes. So, but I still like The Walking Dead. I'll still watch it. I gotta watch it. I really like the characters, and I just don't want. I don't want to. I'm not hating. I don't want to hate. Yeah, hating on hate. But I still love the show, and I'll still watch it. But I just gotta say though, I just gotta point out that it's not as good as it used to be. So, thank you guys for listening. Subscribe, like, let me know who's gonna die. The deal. Let's go.